All right, let's get that iNaturalist data into QGIS. Now, I know in my last video I told you to save it as an XLS file. That's partly because I'm making this video to be used in QGIS and ArcGIS Pro. But for QGIS, it's actually easier if we just keep it in that CSV file. So we can click Save As. If you wanted to change it from the observations name to Western, you could change it to Western Bluebird or whatever type it is. We'll change it to a CSV file and click Save, and then close out of here. Close out your CSV file. Then we'll open up QGIS and we'll scroll down. We're looking for, well, first we can see our XLS here. We also can see the original observations here, and I need to update this. Refresh, open back up. You don't actually need to close it to refresh. Refresh, and then if we scroll down, we'll see our Western Bluebird CSV right there. Now, to get it to display in QGIS, it's pretty straightforward. Remember, if we can open this attribute table, we can bring this into our layers as a table and open up the attribute table, and just be reminded that we do have our latitude and longitude fields here. We can go then to the layer. Actually, let's get rid of it. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Okay, then we can go to our layers drop-down menu. Oops. We'll go to create, add layer, and over to this menu, we're looking for add delimited text layer. This will allow you to take a CSV or TXT file and open it in ArcMap. I'm sorry, open it in QGIS and display from there. So in our create layer, so you can see that when we click on that, we end up in our data source manager. We're in this create layer from a delimited text file option. It doesn't look like some of the images online because obviously everything changes, but we're going to search for that file. So you can click on that Western Bluebirds, or you could just click on your observation if you didn't resave it as something different. We can then go, so you can go and take a look at what we're seeing here, and if you scroll all the way to the top, notice we're not seeing the field names. So this is discarding 7 rows. We actually, number of header lines discard, let's see. So I changed it to 0, and then I got my headings back. So make sure that when you're looking at how this will look in the output in the sample down here, that you still have the ID, field names on that sample data set. Okay. Okay, now we need to, you may have to expand this geometry definition one. You want to make sure that you're clicking on points coordinate and that your X field and Y field are listed appropriately. So remember, this may feel funny putting longitude in the X field, but it is sort of that. If we think of the globe as an XY plane, as we move left or right from the prime meridian, we're moving along the X axis. That's usually our longitude, and Y axis, we're moving up and down, north and south, goodness, north and south from the equator. These data sets that come from QGIS, since they're recorded usually off people's phones or GPS devices, the default coordinate system is WGS 84. So if it's telling you invalid projection, look for that WGS 1984 EPSG 4326, or you can look for it in here if you needed to, but we know what it is. Layer settings. Okay, so we're going to give this a try, and if it doesn't work, we'll go through some of the reasons it may not have worked. Oftentimes we get latitude and longitude back and forth, or reversed, so that's always the first place I start. So let's see where they land. Okay, it looks like we've got, I mean, just looking at it, this looks like it's San Diego County, the shape of the data. We can always bring in a, if we're not quite sure it's in the right spot, we can bring in some of our pre-existing data, like this California County data. Oh, that's country's data. Either way, both of those work to kind of identify, oh, look, yes, right where it should be in San Diego. We can click on each of these, nope, not like that. We can click on each of these and get the information about that information that's on the attribute table about that feature when it was observed. You can click and go to the image of this little birdie here. Yep. So that's how you import the iNaturalist data as a CSV into QGIS.